Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone arena action. We're playing a hunter deck that has some flaws. Generally, the card quality is pretty high, but it's missing some of the key removal things I would like to have, such as an explosive or a freezing trap. And I think it has all the other... and it's missing a Buzzard, so I don't have the Buzzard Hounds combo, though I do have 2 copies of Unleash the Hounds and a Cult Master, also known as a Ghetto Buzzard. We lost a game to a Druid in the first round, which was a tough game, might have been winnable if I'd played a little bit differently. And then the second game we played was a hilarious rogue game. I highly encourage you to just go back if you didn't watch the first video. I know some people always skip to the main course, as it were, and watch the second game against the rogue, because there was some amusing stuff going on. Such as, well, just spoil it if you're not going to go back and watch it. A Magma Rager. Really don't think I've ever seen a Magma Rager played. I certainly have never drafted and played one. I don't think anyone's played one against me. I don't know, maybe there's a faint tickling in my memory. Maybe somebody somewhere played a Magma Rager one time. I don't know. This is a garbage opening hand, though. That's a fact. So unless I get things that are killable via Arcane Shot and Kill Command, I just got jack squat to do. Got my end game here with a bunch of spells. It's just abysmal. Totems are a problem. They make my Deadly Shot ineffective. Oh my god, that's excellent. So the Panda arrives just in time here. Of course, there's a billion different ways it could die, but at least I'm going to make my opponent spend removal, rather than just getting to pile on more stuff onto the board while I'm just steady shotting. So here's a Rockbiter weapon to kill my Panda with. He actually uses the totem for it, which is a Stone Cold Blunder. He also forgets to make a new totem. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, he just didn't make a totem with that 2 mana. And he really should have used the Rockbiter on himself to take the damage to the face to keep the 1/1 on the table. He actually did not make it. I don't know what's happening here. My opponent is just not making totems. I was like, you know, he's like the Cookie Monster. Totems are sometimes food. This is a new thing. I have never seen someone who plays in this particular fashion of sometimes as a shaman just not making a totem. That's a new one on me. He gets the 1/1 totem again, which is actually quite unfortunate because it will kill my frog. So I might not have played the Cult Master, but I will now, because that way when the frog dies, if he hasn't killed the Cult Master first with a lightning bolt or something, I will get a card out of the deal. I could coin into a Stormwind Champion next turn, comforted by the knowledge that he has used 1 Hex already on a bear, and Hex is pretty much the only answer shamans have to a Stormwind Champion. I guess there's a spell damage boosted Lava Burst. That's another answer, but that's a little bit improbable. So here's a totem. He's remembering them now. He could have had like a full board of totems already. Jesus. He might not be making them to play around Unleash the Hounds, but that's wrong. Don't do that, people. Do not do that. So there's a Questing Adventure. Alright, just a Questing Adventure. Great. So the obvious thing here is to play the Knife Juggler Hounds. I have to consider, though, the possibility of making a Sea Giant. Well, let's see. Knife Juggler plus Hounds. I will have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I will actually be able to play the Sea Giant after that. So yes, I'm going to do this. I can also, of course, get an Arcane Shot out of here, but I feel like this is worth doing. Oh no, I forgot about this! I cannot actually play the Sea Giant, because if this totem ends up dying, then the Sea Giant is going to cost 3 mana rather than 2. Well, that's fine. We'll just Arcane Shot to kill that Questing Adventure. You know, this was a sloppy turn, guys. I'm sorry. Playing against bad people makes me play sloppily because now a Lightning Storm clears my board and it's back to being a fair game. So I really shouldn't have done that. I should have done something a little bit different. I should have played the Sea Giant or whatever. I'm not sure. Okay, he could still play Lightning Storm here. He does not, however, have a Lightning Storm. He has, you know, this excellent card of excellence. Alright, let's see here. I could play Stormwind Champion and then coin and then Sea Giant. That seems like a good move. So let's do this. Coin. 1 mana Sea Giant, yes please. Let's take a look at the situation. I've got actually 9 plus 6 is 15 damage, so I cannot kill him. Thus I will proceed to get some cards with my Cult Master. Kill off the spell damage totem. Because just why not? This is hilarious. And I know there's going to be people who are like, oh, Boris, where do you find these people? I never find these people when I play the arena. The only people I find are like Trump Jr. and Kriparian Sr. I don't know, guys. Just lose your first game or something, and maybe you'll find these people. So let's just keep it simple, keep it safe. Whackety whackety. Smackety smackety do. Jesus. Well, those are two of the freest wins I have had in a long time. I guess it is Sunday morning here on the East Coast. It could be the Sunday afternoon casuals are out in full force. I don't know. But that was pretty great. If I had beaten that Druid, I probably would have had harder opponents. I would have had to work for my victories. Alright, well, this is taking a long time for absolutely no reason. My cousin let me play a game on her iPhone called Temple Run, which apparently is this like super famous thing. It's been downloaded over 1 billion times. It actually kind of makes me want to get an iPhone, which is terrible because like that's like a multiple $100 device and you have to pay like a whole bunch of money a month just to have a data plan just so like you can play like a free-to-play game. But there's that and Dungeon Raid, which is a game that my friends showed me a couple of years ago, or like a year ago, which is like costs like $1, but you have to have an iDevice in order to be able to play it. And I'm actually in the process of making a video game with my friend. We're going to make it for iOS, so I need an app of some sort in order to be able to test it when we're developing it. I'm actually not saying we're developing it is a bit generous. I'm not actually developing it. I don't know how to code, but I'll be doing a lot of like the testing and other stuff. And it was my idea for the game in the first, like I came up with the concept, so he'll be helping me, well, he'll be developing it, but the idea was mine. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I'm probably going to get a smartphone pretty soon, which is something I've tried to hold off on for a long time, but yeah, you can only hold off for so long. Okay, so here we'll have to think, do I use a deadly shot to kill one of these spirit wolves? No, we'll steady shot here. It sucks that I don't have anything better to do, but I don't want to use a deadly shot this early, and he is missing this next turn. Unless he has a 1-mana creature, he's just going to have nothing, and I doubt he would have, like, coined into Spirit Wolf if he had a 1-mana creature to play. Now he played the Guardian, which is a really good answer to the Spirit Wolf, so I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. Texting the girlfriend. Texting the girlfriend. Alright, well the grunt is not that impressive, so this is looking like a pretty good game, even though the early Spirit Wolf looked a little bit scary to start things off. We even get a use for the Stormpike Commando, who is a legitimate card, I concede. Texting. This shaman does not have any removal, which I am not complaining about in the slightest. Okay, well, I could explosive shot to keep my creatures. Is that worth it? I think it actually is worth it. So you might say, Boris, this is a crazy move. Why are you doing that? Well, the answer is, if I ever play creatures, I would have to use one of my existing creatures to kill off his bear anyway. So I'm not actually gaining any board presence by playing these cards. And these are pretty strong creatures. He's shown himself not to have any removal. I might as well clear the board so that if he drops a big thing, I can play a deadly shot. Well, there's Forked Lightning. Balls. Does he have a finisher for this dude or face? The answer is he does. Well, that sucks. So I don't want to use deadly shot, but this is too big for arcane shot. Hey, Boulder Vistoger. Now I might say Papa Boris, what if he has a hex? Well, the thing is, if I play one of these things, it's just guaranteed to be bad. But the ogre, there's a chance it'll be good. And if he does hex, it's this whole turn. He doesn't have a hex. Perfect. Perfect. So now we know he does not have a hex, which is great.
Well played.
That's the second time you've been foiled by faulty bus schedules. My girlfriend is telling me that she was waiting for a bus that never came. And so it seems that the online bus schedules for Madison are incorrect. A travesty, that is. What just happened? Why is that a thing half taunt? Ancestral healing? Are you goddamn kidding me, Jesus? Wow. Alright. Well, let's play out our stuff here just to see. Maybe I'll get maybe if I get a knifeling on this, I can use an arcane shot on it. That is not going to happen. I could play the ooze. Yeah, why not? Take another 1 in 3 chance. I don't want to damage the ogre. There it is. Don't want to damage the ogre. I just want to use the ogre for damage to the face. I would prefer for the ogre to deal damage than take damage, especially as a hunter holding Unleash the Hounds and having this big board. I'm in pretty good shape. Okay, Lightning Storm? No Lightning Storm. So he hasn't had X, he hasn't had Lightning Storm. I can't really complain about my luck here. He had a Forked Lightning, but that wasn't a big deal. I think actually he's just dead now, isn't he? So I have 7 creatures, so only 2 hounds would actually fit on the board. But I have a lot of damage. I mean, this is just over. It's just over. Yeah, I didn't even need my hounds. Okay, he probably shouldn't have said well played. I might not have realized I had the win if he didn't say well played. Well, that's cool. We get a 60 gold quest completed. And after losing the first game, we've bounced back with 3 pretty free victories. I don't know, I wonder if people are going to watch my videos and be like, oh, the arena's so easy. It's not really that easy. Like, I've definitely struggled to make it to 3 wins before. It's just here on Sunday morning / afternoon, it's been a little bit bizarre. After that one druid, the fish just basically are jumping right into my boat. Well, Zion 1011, will you put an end to the madness? Will you put up a fight? I don't want you to. I mean, you can keep on rolling over. I don't want to be one of those people who, like, sounds resentful of the fact that their opponents are easy. So this is a tricky situation because, of course, the temptation is you coin into the Berserker and you play the Ooze afterwards. But, I mean, what if the Warrior has a weapon? Warriors, even more so than Rogue, I just really hate playing Oozes against a Warrior because the Fiery War Axe, the Arcanite Reaper, and even, like, the Wrathy Weaponsmith, they're all just such good targets. I mean, I could coin into the Berserker, hope he actually plays a Fiery War Axe to kill it, and then I can play the Ooze to kill the Fiery War Axe. I will try that. I mean, if he kills it in some other fashion, I'm in rough shape. But we'll see if that goes well. I'd like to have this here so I can trade, you know, for a creature that he would play rather than being on the back foot. It would be actually, this is one of the few times where I'm actually kind of hoping he does have a Fiery War Axe, because then I have a good play to make. I have this ready to trade with this 3-drop, and I have my own 3-drops to play on the following turn. No. So no Fiery War Axe here. Oh, well, that's a good top deck. I was actually thinking I was gonna play the Ooze. I would have played the Ooze if I hadn't gotten this Knife Juggler, even though it might seem crazy, but, you know, a good option now is better than the best option later, and so getting this out on the field and having it trade with the 2-1 seemed like it was worth it. Alright, so this is a little bit unfortunate that he had this Infiltrator, because now he's got this Worgen threatening to turn on Wind Fury against me. Well, any of these 3 companions is fine. Any of them is good. So the Leok lets my Berserker trade with his Worgen. The Bear would have held off his Worgen, and the Pig could have just directly killed his Worgen, so that's fine. All those were solid options. It's a rare case where any animal companion will do, but that was one of the cases. So the upshot is, well, I haven't gotten really ahead, but I do have the Ooze now. And the question is, do I actually want to use it against this Battle Axe? So he's attacking my Leok with it, threatening then to kill it with the Weaponsmith. Cult Master would let me trade the Leok in and get a card, but then the Cult Master just dies. I think we'll just keep it simple, keep it safe. I hate doing this because this is not that great, letting the Weaponsmith kill my Leok, but such is life. Can't win them all. Sometimes it feels like you can't even win some of them. Well, this is clearly a warrior who knows what he's doing, and we're going to have a tough time. Interesting. So the Abomination, I don't understand what he's doing. Okay, so I understand what he's doing. Sorry, that was a lot of backtracking. So I understand what he's doing here. Basically what's happening is the following. My Ooze can kill the Abomination, but then the Abomination pops. It kills the Leok, but it does not quite kill the Weaponsmith, so there we go. He's left with the creature, and I'm left with nothing. The Sea Giant, I'm 1 mana shy of being able to play. I could play Unleash the Hounds, but then I'd still be a mana shy of being able to... Actually, I'd be 2 mana shy of being able to play the Sea Giant. What does Unleash the Hounds really do for me? Well, I could use the 2 Hounds to kill the Abomination, but the Ooze dies anyway. So there's really no value in playing Unleash the Hounds. I could play the Cult Master and then trade the Ooze in for a card, but then the Cult Master dies. Boy. I could play the Hunter and Steady Shot, but then he can just throw the Abomination at my Ooze. You know, this is bad. I hate doing this. Well, I could actually play the Cult Master, throw the Leok and the Ooze in, and then have the Cult Master die, but I got 2 cards for my trouble. Alright, we'll do it. We'll do it. It's a little bit risky because now I don't have the Cult Master to go with the Hounds later on, but I'm getting 2 cards right now. And I don't know. I could have saved the Cult Master for use with the Hounds later on. And I still could have basically cleared the board the way I did and also played, like, say, a Tiger afterwards. And then I would have had the Tiger on the board instead of 2 cards. Yeah, that would have been smarter. I messed up. I should have played the Tiger and had the Tiger on the board. That's more valuable than having 2 cards, for sure. Alright, well, we need to get some kills going, so we will play the Stormpike Commando. Unfortunately, now I've got the Stormpike versus the Ogre, and it's not that great. 22 health. If he wants to take me down to 16, and he has weapons to follow it up with, I could very easily die. Alright, so he's going to hit me. This Ogre is just terrifyingly bad. Because I cannot race him out. He's going to kill me before I kill him. Especially with his armor ups. I don't know, this is just... I'm just screwed. I need Deadly Shot or something. Okay. Well, let's see what the animal gives me. A bear? Not bad. I could kill command the Ogre to try to wear it down a bit. In preparation for Hounds later on. Or I could just play the Guardian. Let's play the Guardian. So my thinking is now I can play Unleash the Hounds later, and then use the kill command off of the Hounds to finish off the Ogre if the Ogre runs into my Misha. Oh, Jesus freaking Christ. That's not good. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Warsong Commander plus Cobra is a pretty good combo. He can actually just almost kill me at this point. But he might, I guess, take a pit stop to kill off my Guardian. And he does indeed elect to do this. Pretty clever play. Keeping the Ogre at full health, and then making it so that it's really difficult for me to kill the Ogre while this is still in play, and also is a threat that needs to be dealt with. So I can play my Sea Giant, but it's too little too late. This is terrible. I have to make a very ugly play. I have to do Hounds, kill command, and use the 2 Hounds to kill that Ogre. It's disgusting because, I mean, if he has any 3 power or less creatures, they have charge and he can pretty much battle me down to death. You know what? I should have played this Tiger. Instead of playing the Cult Master for 2 cards, I should have just thrown the Ooze as Abomination and then played the Tiger. If I had this Tiger out on the field, yes, that would have been 2 cards less, but I would have been in much better shape. He's got too much health for me to burn him out. I can't use the bow to kill creatures anymore. I mean, I'm going to have to if I'm desperate. He says, well played, so he seems to have kill. That's 5 damage and 7 damage. Wow, so many of these creatures. That's 10 damage. He actually just had... Oh my god, I conceded! No! No, 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 concede! Oh, yes, I conceded before he could kill me. That was unfortunate. I don't know if I can call that a dumb game, but it felt pretty dumb. So here we are at 3-2. It was weird. Okay, I'm going to spoil my last few Hunter results, because, God, those videos are so old, there's a statute of limitations, people. I had a 3-win run and a 4-win run, and then 2 12-win runs in a row as Hunter. So, I don't want to call this a hit-or-miss class, because on my average number of wins with Hunter is actually 7, so it's higher than for any other class, and I do very well with this class on average. It's not super hit-or-missy. It's pretty consistent, but I've actually never done worse than 3 wins as Hunter, and I've almost never done worse than 4. I think just once or twice. But here we go, a deck that seems actually like a pretty decent Hunter deck is not going well for me. Granted, there were some play choices in the game against the Druid and against that Warrior that could have been made differently. Alright, here's another Shaman Bravos. Unfortunately, it's not the other Shaman I played, because that other Shaman was great. He's a shaman I would like to play every time. And we'll keep the bow in case it is needed. Other than that, this is a pretty slow start. Yeah, slow starts are just the bane of a hunter. He's got a fast start here. How this could get disgusting. If he manages to flip a taunt totem to foil my bow, I could be in trouble. Of course, this is actually not the most impressive. I don't understand that at all. I think this is just a bad play. Why on earth would you ever want to coin into a Master Swordsmith? Wouldn't you rather coin into your other card and then play the Swordsmith to have the creature get buffed? Okay, so please don't be a taunt. It's not a taunt. Good. Now, I could even play the Razorfen Hunter here, but no, I really should probably kill the Swordsmith. I think he played the Swordsmith so that he could then play the Totem, and then have the Totem get buffed, which is a definite mistake. That is not how you do things. Observe, please, that my hand is actually quite expensive. I need to try to get all this stuff out as much as I can. These 5 drops are killing me. I need one of them to be a 4 drop, and it isn't. Alright, we'll have to do the best we can, I guess, just playing this Hunter. Knife Juggler is cute, but it doesn't achieve anything. I will kill the buff totem because that stays dead, whereas the golem, which comes back to life. And the damaged golem will die off to an explosive shot, perhaps, if needed in the future. Drake, oh gosh, that's large. So I need an Ironbeak Owl. Not quite. Shoot, this is bad. Alright, we have to take a pit stop for this explosive shot, even though it's not the most impressive explosive shot that ever was. So this is not the shot heard around the world, that's for sure. Keeps things clear, and hopefully he doesn't have an impressive turn here, like hopefully he doesn't play a big 5-drop and I can get this ogre down in relative peace and quiet. Alright, he has a good 5-drop. Story of my goddamn life. Alright, well, let's hope this guy doesn't have a hex. I mean, I'm pushing my luck here, because the last one didn't have a hex. I'm definitely pushing my luck, but that's what I have to hope for. And I'm at 20 health with a 4-power creature on the board pounding me away. I could be in a lot of trouble. Leftmost card is not a hex, thank God. So this is actually fine, and he's going to get a card out of it. No probalo. Lightning bolts. Slight mistake, he should have... Oh, no, never mind. That's not a mistake. If he had attacked first for the card draw first, the lightning bolt would not have killed me. No, wait, what are we talking about? It would have. Yeah, he should have gotten a card first. Slight mistake there. Okay. So, I still cannot play my 5-drops, which is annoying because I really do need to kill this Cult Master off. The knife hit the face, which is good, so it's an extra point of damage. So 6 cards to 7 is a close game. I got a little bit of a board advantage. Let's see if he can kill off the Knife Juggler. What he wants is a Fire Elemental here. I didn't get this Stranglethorn Tiger down in time to kill the Fire Elemental off with. Alright, this is okay. We're okay with this. This is not a problem. So, Stormwind Champion, unfortunately, does not let me kill Ascension particularly easily unless I get a 1-in-3 fling on the Ascension, which I don't want to take chances on. So what we'll do here is just drop a bunch of stuff onto the board.
Ready, sir.
See where the knives go. Oh my gosh, will it really kill the wolf? It will not. Now I could put the Stormwind Knight back into my hand. Alright, I have a 2-in-3 chance that the Knife Fling is going to do something useful. So I'm going to take that chance. And it hit the face, are you goddamn kidding me? Jesus. Oh, Lord. Well, that could have gone better. Oh, man. The Knife Juggler just hit everything once, which is the worst thing that could have possibly... That is, like, apart from hitting his face 2 or 3 times, that was the worst thing that could have possibly happened. So, here... Well, let's see if he uses the Ascension to kill off my Silverhand Knight or not. Oh my god. Something else, I assume? Wait, why is... Oh, so that the wolf can kill that. So he's protecting his Fire Elemental, which is very reasonable. Alright, so I could silence this thing and get at that, but there's really no point to that. What I will do is the following. We're going to play the Tiger. Ready to kill the Fire Elemental. I will just swing at his face, like so. So the Stormwind Champion might not be a bad play, although unfortunately, even with the +1/+1 buff, the Tiger still dies to the Elemental, so I may not want to play this, depending on the circumstances. Okay, he's played 2 Lightning Bolts of Fire Elemental. guess it's a reasonable amount of removal. It's not like excessive. I shouldn't curse the gods or anything. Gets a taunt, which is annoying. Organ, which is also annoying. And what else? Manatide Totem. Alright. Well, got a couple things we have to kill here. Okay. Interesting. So don't fall for the trap of leading Manatides alive. You always have to kill them. Always, always, always. I'm definitely playing Stormwind Champion. The question is what else? I think I'm going to just use this to silence that Taunter. Now we need to kill that, and I have to think. I'm actually going to do this, even though it feels wrong, I'm going to do this to keep my Stormwind Champion potentially alive. If he can hex this, then the... Well, if he hexes this, the Worgen has to run into the Frog. But if he can hex this and kill the Frog, the Worgen can then turn on Wind Fury and kill both of my other creatures. So it's a little bit of a risk, but I figured it was worth it, because if he had a hex, he would have used it before, surely. And as long as these guys get to keep their 3 power, I'm fine. Alright, so the silence totem has a use. And the silence is very frustrating because now the Worgen can get Wind Furied. Ah, it's so annoying. Okay. Well, I took a little bit of a gamble and it did not pay off. Unleash the Hounds would be nice. Oh my, would that be a nice card right here. Nice, nice card, Animal Companion. Well, it's better than nothing. So we'll take the Animal Companion, see what we get. Got a Leok, which is the worst one. Naturally, let's kill. Doesn't actually matter who I target with this. Doesn't matter. I need to kill that off because I cannot afford to take any damage to the face. So now, unfortunately, my Stormwind Champion will die. Of course, he's already been silenced, so it doesn't matter that much. The problem is he has 3 cards. He needs to have 0 cards right now. The fact that he has 3 cards is a major, major issue because if he can actually clear out my stuff, he's at way too high of a health total for me to burn him out. And I don't have anything left after the Golem kills my Stormwind Champion. Just these 2 guys, and and then I'm top decking. Of course, Unleash the Hounds would be nice. Ahem. But they are staying buried in my deck. Yeti was not really what I wanted to see at all in the slightest. Even with the Leok's buff, the Guardian doesn't quite kill him.
Remember, kill for loss.
Alright, so now the Yeti can kill the Leok, which stops my Yeti from killing his Yeti. Granted, this was a pretty good top deck. Can't complain about that too much. But I really would like to get Unleash the Hounds. Are you goddamn kidding me, Jesus? Well, we need now one of my 2 Hunter's Marks. Would be pretty stellar. Hey, Gabe! It's happening. If he has a Lightning Storm, I'm really screwed, but gotta take those chances. So I don't like getting hit for 8 damage when I'm at 16 health. But then again, my opponent might not do that because I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 damage. If I top deck a kill command or something, he would die. He might not want to take that chance. Of course, if he just Lightning Storms here, I lose. Gravash Berserker is very terrifying. He is going for my face. So he's threatening lethal with this giant. He's just hoping I don't get the kill. And are you goddamn kidding me? Jesus, dog totem, why? Oh my god, I'm just going to die to this mountain giant. That is a very ignoble way to go down. Cult Master, well, it's what we needed. There is pretty much just one way that I could win this now, which is I get a Hunter's Mark out of one of these hounds. It has to be, well, it has to be one of the first 2. So if I don't get a Hunter's Mark now, it's over. Deadly Shot, are you goddamn motherfucking kidding me? Deadly Shot. Well, couldn't do it. Thought I had a decent deck, but it was just a bit slow. Something about the proportion of the creatures was wrong, and I think maybe the curve was too high. Just too much expensive stuff. I couldn't get my hand onto the board in time. So thanks for watching, folks. 3, 4, 12, 12, 3 is my last few streak with Hunters. I feel kind of embarrassed making a Hunter strategy guide, because I clearly did something wrong in this one. But, you know, you live and you learn. And we get 35 gold. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and or subscribe if you did. And now we'll take a sneak peek at our next one. It's gonna be a priest, a mage, or a warlock. Thanks for watching again, folks. I'll see you again soon. Take care.